After 60, the meat you put on your plate can decide whether your heart will beat strongly and healthily for years to come, or whether it will quietly begin to weaken. The choice that seems simple, chicken, fish, steak, ham, can be the difference between keeping your arteries clean or clogging them with inflammation. The science is clear: animal proteins carry compounds that can protect your cells or accelerate aging. What matters is which meat you choose and how it gets to your plate. It's not just about cholesterol or calories. It's about how each type of meat interacts with your blood vessels, your brain, and your defenses against disease. And here's what almost no one talks about: within the same food group, there are villains and heroes. Some meats silently cause inflammation, increase the risk of stroke, impair memory, and wear down your joints. And there are others that do the opposite. They reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and help your body stay young longer. Today, you'll discover the 4 meats that most destroy the health of people over 60, and, more importantly, the 4 that can save it. This information comes from solid research that shows how simple changes on your plate can add years of healthy life. Get ready: some meats you thought were safe will be on the risk list, and others that rarely appear on your table may become your greatest allies. And if this warning has already made you think about what you're going to put on your plate tomorrow, share it now. This simple gesture spreads the message and can protect the health of someone you love before it's too late. Over the years, your body changes silently but profoundly. At 30 or 40, you could eat almost anything and recover quickly. After 60, the scenario is different: your metabolism slows down, your immune system loses efficiency, and your ability to repair damage declines. This means that the impact of each meal is much greater, for better or for worse. Circulation is no longer as vigorous. Blood vessels tend to harden, and any extra inflammation can accelerate this process. The liver processes fats less efficiently. The gut, which is home to billions of protective bacteria, also becomes more sensitive to what you eat, and the wrong meats can feed inflammatory bacteria, while the right ones strengthen the beneficial ones. And there's another critical point: muscle loss. It begins to accelerate, and protein becomes even more essential for maintaining strength, balance, and autonomy. But not all animal protein offers the same benefits. Some carry toxins, excess saturated fat, and preservatives that overload already vulnerable organs. That's why, at this stage of life, it's not enough to just eat meat. You need to know which cuts, which sources, and which preparations offer more than just energy. They offer real protection against disease. Now, let's start separating who's on your side from who's against you. The first villain on our list is consumed by millions every day, often without realizing the risk. It's on many people's breakfast tables. It appears on Sunday tables, at barbecues, and even in quick sandwiches during the week. We're talking about processed meats, sausages, bacon, bologna. Foods that, despite being tasty, carry a dangerous combination: excess saturated fat and nitrites used as preservatives. Saturated fat, in large quantities, hardens and inflames the arteries, facilitating the accumulation of plaque. For those over 60, this means a higher risk of high blood pressure, heart attacks, and strokes. Nitrites, when heated or exposed to stomach acid, can form potentially carcinogenic compounds. The problem is that these meats often seem harmless because they come in small portions. A slice of bacon, a piece of sausage, but when we add them up over the course of a week, the amount of fat and additives easily exceeds the safe limit. And unlike clean proteins, these foods do not offer significant nutrients to offset the damage. To make matters worse, they are often prepared at high temperatures, generating inflammatory compounds that attack everything from the endothelium of blood vessels to the collagen in the skin. It's as if, little by little, they are cutting the threads that sustain your health. And here's a detail that many people overlook: even some light or reduced fat versions are still dangerous because they contain high levels of sodium and preservatives. The next villain is even more treacherous because it carries the reputation of being natural and strong, but in excess and prepared the wrong way, it also becomes a silent threat. Red meat has been part of human history for thousands of years. It is rich in iron, zinc, and high-quality protein. But after age 60, what was once a source of strength can become fuel for inflammation and accelerated aging, especially when consumed in excess or prepared aggressively. Very fatty cuts, such as picanha, ribs, and sirloin, are high in saturated fat, which, as we have seen, overloads the cardiovascular system. But the danger doesn't stop there. When meat is cooked on grills, barbecues, or in frying pans at very high temperatures, it releases compounds called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. These molecules cause chronic inflammation, harden tissues, and even accelerate joint wear. There is also the issue of heme, the type of iron found in red meat. In moderate amounts, it is essential. But in excess, it can generate free radicals that damage cells and DNA, especially if the body is already more vulnerable due to age. It is not about abolishing red meat forever. But after age 60, the key is to choose lean cuts, reduce frequency, and opt for gentler cooking methods such as stewing, braising, and quick grilling, avoiding surface burning. What makes this villain dangerous is that it has the perfect disguise. It is traditional, present in moments of celebration, and carries the status of power food. But when consumption gets out of balance, it can become a trigger for silent diseases. And even if you decide to cut out red meat, there is another villain on the list, and this one is often deceptive because it looks healthy, but in the manufacturing process, it loses almost everything it could offer. Many people, when trying to eat healthier, swap fatty meats for leaner options, such as chicken breast or turkey breast. The intention is good. The problem is that when these foods go through the manufacturing process, they become something completely different. Turkey cold cuts, smoked chicken breast, nuggets, and breaded products are sold as fit or light, but they hide a load of sodium that can skyrocket blood pressure. And salt isn't the only problem. Chemical preservatives, modified starches, and flavor enhancers alter the way the body reacts to protein. Chicken, which in its natural state is a clean source of protein, loses its integrity when ground, reconstituted, and mixed with additives. In addition, many of these products are fried or pre-cooked in low-quality oils, which oxidize quickly and increase inflammation. For those over 60, this combination is even riskier. Excess sodium promotes fluid retention, overloads the heart, and aggravates kidney problems. The loss of nutritional value also means less quality fuel to keep muscles and bones strong. This villain is treacherous because it doesn't seem dangerous at first glance.
It is present in quick snacks, ready-made salads, breakfasts, and even in poorly designed diets. But the body is not fooled. The inflammatory response is the same as with other processed foods. And we still haven't mentioned the fourth villain, the one that, in addition to causing inflammation, can release potentially carcinogenic substances, especially when prepared in the traditional way. Ham, salami, copa, pastrami, dried meat, beef jerky, these foods are steeped in history, flavor, and tradition. But for those over 60, they carry a weight that goes far beyond calories. The curing and smoking process, used for centuries to preserve food, leaves residues that modern science links to serious risks. Nitrites and nitrates, when heated or metabolized, can form nitrosamines, compounds with carcinogenic potential, especially for the digestive tract. In addition, smoke from smoking contains polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, which are also on the list of substances suspected of increasing the risk of cancer. And that's not all. The salt concentration in these foods is usually very high, which puts even more pressure on the cardiovascular system and can worsen osteoporosis, since excess sodium contributes to calcium loss in the bones. Even small portions, when consumed frequently, accumulate damage. The body, already more sensitive, has less ability to neutralize and repair these chemical aggressions. And contrary to what some people think, artisan or gourmet versions are not free of these risks. The compounds are formed by the process itself, regardless of the scale of production. The most worrying thing is that these meats are part of social and emotional moments, cold cuts, special sandwiches, traditional dishes. Precisely for this reason, they go unnoticed as a threat. But now that you know the four villains, it's time to turn the tables. Let's talk about meats that, instead of stealing your vitality, can restore strength, protect your heart, and even help your body fight inflammation. And the first on the list comes from the sea, and has a power that science describes as a natural anti-inflammatory for the body and brain. Wild salmon, sardines, mackerel, anchovies, they all have something in common. They are cold water fish with meat rich in omega-3, a type of fat that not only nourishes but acts as a true modulator of inflammation in the body. After age 60, when silent inflammatory processes begin to affect blood vessels, joints, and even memory, omega-3 acts as a biological brake. It improves artery elasticity, reduces platelet aggregation, lowering the risk of clots, and preserves the myelin sheath that protects neurons. And it doesn't stop there. These fish also provide vitamin D, essential for strong bones and muscles, and high-quality, easily digestible protein. Unlike denser meats, they do not overload the liver or stimulate intestinal inflammation. The secret lies in the source and preparation. Whenever possible, choose wild fish, which has a richer nutritional profile and fewer contaminants, and opt for gentle cooking methods: steaming, light roasting, stewing. Frying and grilling at excessively high temperatures can oxidize omega-3 and reduce its benefits. Studies show that eating oily fish 2 to 3 times a week can significantly reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, one of the biggest health challenges after age 60. Now, I want to hear from you. What meat or fish appears most often on your plate today? Leave your comments below. Your answers help shape content that really touches your daily life and your needs. The next hero is well known, but it needs to be consumed in its purest form to deliver all its benefits, and it can be a great ally in preserving muscle mass and immunity. Chicken is one of the most common foods on tables around the world. But after age 60, the difference between regular chicken and organic chicken is much more than a label detail. It can mean more vitality or more inflammation in your daily life. Organic chicken, raised free range, without artificial hormones and feed loaded with chemical residues, offers high-quality lean protein with essential amino acids to preserve and rebuild muscles. And maintaining muscle mass is critical at this stage of life, not only for physical strength, but also for blood sugar stability and fall prevention. In addition, organic chicken has a more balanced fat profile, with a lower proportion of inflammatory fats. When prepared gently, boiled, slow-roasted, stewed with vegetables, it remains easy to digest and preserves nutrients such as niacin and vitamin B6, which support brain and cardiovascular health. The problem is that much of the chicken available on the market is intensively produced, with the use of antibiotics and artificial feed, factors that can alter the gut microbiota and contribute to chronic inflammation. That's where conscious choice makes all the difference. It is worth remembering that the way you season and accompany your meal also enhances its benefits. Fresh herbs, turmeric, ginger, and lemon not only enhance the flavor, but also increase the antioxidant power of the dish. And if you think red meat can't make the list of heroes, get ready. The next item will surprise you. It's a special type of meat that, when raised the right way, offers a nutritional profile that can strengthen bones, muscles, and immunity, all without overworking the heart. For many, lamb is a meat reserved for special occasions. But when raised free-range, fed exclusively on grass and natural herbs, it becomes one of the most nutritious and balanced options for those over 60. Unlike conventional beef cuts, grass-fed lamb has a more favorable fat profile, with a lower proportion of inflammatory saturated fats and a higher presence of beneficial fatty acids, such as CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. This compound is being studied for its potential to reduce inflammation, support cardiovascular health, and even contribute to maintaining a healthy weight. In addition, lamb is rich in heme iron, easily absorbed by the body, and zinc, a mineral essential for immune system function. These nutrients are crucial for preventing anemia, maintaining stable energy levels, and protecting against infections, which can have a more serious impact in older adults. Another positive point is its protein density. Lamb provides complete amino acids to preserve and rebuild muscle mass, which is vital for maintaining mobility, independence, and an active metabolism. The secret is in the preparation. Slow cooking, stews with vegetables and aromatic herbs enhance not only the flavor, but also digestibility, allowing the body to better utilize the nutrients. And if you think you've seen it all, the last hero on the list goes even further. It is a meat so clean and nutritious that it practically goes back to the origins of human nutrition, offering the body an almost ancestral protein of extremely high biological value. Rabbit, wild boar, deer, wild duck, game meats are for many a rarity. But for the body, especially after age 60, they represent an almost forgotten type of protein, clean, nutritious, and adapted to our biology since ancient times. These animals live freely, feeding naturally. This is reflected in their nutritional profile: low total fat content, high presence of beneficial unsaturated fats, and an impressive density of micronutrients.
Iron, zinc, selenium, B vitamins, all in amounts that support energy, immunity, and cell regeneration. Because they are more active muscle meats from animals that are constantly moving, their texture is firmer, but they also contain high-quality proteins, ideal for preserving lean mass and accelerating tissue recovery. In addition, because they are not raised industrially, these meats are free of hormone and antibiotic residues. This reduces the inflammatory load that so many conventional meats carry. The ideal preparation respects the delicacy of the meat, slow cooking, marinating with herbs and olive oil, or gentle roasting to preserve flavor and nutrients. For those who have never tried it, the surprise is twofold: remarkable flavor and easy digestion. And here's an important point: it's not always easy to find game meat from a safe and regulated source. But when available, it can be an excellent alternative to vary your menu and provide your body with a protein of very high biological value. If you know someone who has never heard of these benefits, share this content now. A simple piece of information can be the first step toward choices that prolong life with better health. And there is something else that is essential: more than choosing the right meat, you need to prepare and combine it in a way that amplifies its benefits and neutralizes risks. That's what we're going to talk about now. Choosing the right meat is only the first step. The real power lies in how it is prepared, combined, and incorporated into your daily life. The same cut can be nutritious or inflammatory, depending on what you do with it in the kitchen. The first thing to consider is the method of preparation. Moderate temperatures preserve nutrients and prevent the formation of toxic compounds, such as ages. Stews, slow cooking, steaming, and gentle oven cooking keep proteins intact and make the meat more tender and digestible. Avoid burning the surface, which releases substances that are harmful to blood vessels and cells. The second point is what you serve it with. Combining meat with antioxidant-rich vegetables such as broccoli, kale, spinach, bell peppers, and tomatoes helps neutralize free radicals generated during digestion. Fresh herbs such as rosemary, oregano, and parsley not only enhance the flavor but also contain protective bioactive compounds. The third is quantity. After age 60, the need for quality protein increases, but not excess calories and fat. Adequate portions are about the size of the palm of your hand, ranging from 80 to 120 grams per meal. This ensures enough fuel for muscles and tissues without overloading organs. And finally, variety. Alternating types of meat and including seafood, poultry, and, whenever possible, plant-based sources of protein keeps the body nourished with a broader spectrum of amino acids, vitamins, and minerals. When these choices become a habit, meat is no longer just food, but part of a longevity strategy helping to maintain energy, mental clarity, strong immunity, and mobility to enjoy life to the fullest. But none of this works without awareness. Because, at the end of the day, every meal is an opportunity to strengthen or weaken the body. And it is with this vision that we will close our content, showing that the decision is always in your hands and that you can use this information to write a healthier future. Throughout this conversation, we have seen two very clear paths. On one hand, meats that cause inflammation, overload the heart, wear down joints, and accelerate aging. On the other hand, meats that strengthen muscles, protect blood vessels, nourish the brain, and help keep the body young longer. After 60, every meal is more than just a moment to satisfy hunger, it's an opportunity to send messages to your body. One bite can spark silent inflammatory processes, and the next can be a boost of renewal and defense. The power to decide which one it will be is always in front of you. And here's the good news: you don't have to transform your entire routine overnight. Small, consistent changes create big results. Replace a fatty cut with bluefish. Swap processed cold cuts for slow-cooked organic chicken with herbs. Bring grass-fed lamb to a special meal. Try clean, nutritious game meat when possible. These choices, repeated over the months, add up to an investment in your own vitality. And the sooner you start, the sooner your body will respond with more energy, less pain, greater mobility, and mental clarity. If this content has inspired you to rethink what goes on your plate, remember, here, each video is one more step toward living longer and better. Subscribe and continue walking with me on this journey of transforming food into your best medicine. The decision is yours, every day. And it starts with your next meal.